Spain is a land of hidden charms, where cobblestone streets, sunlit plazas, and timeless villages invite discovery. Beyond the bustling cities lie serene towns brimming with culture, history, and affordable living. Join us on a journey to explore these enchanting places, each offering a unique blend of beauty and tranquility. Alicante, Spain. Shadows along the Costa Blanca. Beneath the sun-drenched facades of Alicante, the cobblestone streets of the old town hide stories the city seldom tells. At first glance, the castle of Santa Barbara towers proudly over the port, a symbol of history and strength. But wander its alleys at dusk and the air grows heavier, shadows twisting as if alive. Windows gape like hollow eyes and the faint scent of salt mingles with whispers of lives long gone. Locals speak quietly of footsteps echoing where no one walks, of doors that groan against unseen pressure, and of fleeting glimpses at corners just beyond sight. By the beach, laughter fades with the tide, leaving only a subtle chill that traces the spine. Keep your eyes open. Alicante's sunlit charm may hide secrets that are only revealed under nightfall, hinting at the darkness waiting in the next town. Almeria, Spain. Deserted echoes beneath the sun. Almeria glimmers under relentless sunlight, its beaches and ancient fortresses offering the illusion of warmth and life. Yet behind the fortress walls of Alcazaba, shadows linger where no visitor dares to tread. Narrow lanes twist between sun-bleached stone, whispering of merchants, soldiers, and secrets long buried beneath centuries of dust. Locals speak in hushed tones of flickering lights at twilight, of alleyways that seem to stretch further than they should, and of a coldness that creeps even on the hottest days. By night, the city feels suspended between reality and memory, where the wind carries fragments of laughter, argument, and sorrow from eras past. Step carefully along its edges, for Almeria hides more than history. What seems silent may be waiting to draw the next wanderer into its secrets, and the story ahead promises even darker whispers. Avilés, Spain. Ghosts along the narrow canals. In the quiet corners of Avilés, the old town seems suspended in time. Its narrow streets wind like veins through centuries-old buildings, while stone bridges arch over canals that mirror the fading light. Locals whisper of footsteps echoing where no one walks, of shutters rattling despite still air, and of sudden shadows darting between alleyways. The Palacio de Valdecarzana looms silently, its walls holding centuries of untold stories, duels, disappearances, and whispered betrayals. At dusk, the city's bustling markets fall silent, leaving only the soft murmur of the wind through cobblestones. Some claim that if you linger too long by the canal edges, you may glimpse figures moving just beyond vision, watching and waiting. But the true mysteries of Avilés are yet to reveal themselves, hinting at secrets even darker in the towns that lie ahead. Baeza, Spain. Silent courtyards of time. In the heart of Andalusia, Baeza's golden sandstone buildings glow warmly by day, yet conceal whispers that only night reveals. The Plaza del Populo lies quiet after sunset, its arches casting long shadows that seem to shift with a mind of their own. Locals speak of deserted alleyways where the air grows thick and heavy, as though the stones themselves remember forgotten feuds, vanished merchants, and unspoken tragedies. Cathedral towers loom over narrow streets, their bells long silenced, yet some claim faint tolls echo when no hand moves the ropes. Step lightly along its hidden passageways, and you may sense a presence lingering just beyond sight, watching, waiting. And as Baeza's shadows deepen, one cannot help but wonder what secrets the next town harbors, and whether its streets are as empty as they seem. Bilbao, Spain. Shadows. Along the Nervión. Bilbao's bustling streets and modern facades hide echoes that the city rarely admits. Beyond the Guggenheim's shimmering curves, the Casco Viejo twists in labyrinthine alleys where history lingers like a quiet breath. Locals murmur of abandoned corners where footsteps echo long after the passerby has gone, and of shuttered windows that seem to watch silently. The scent of the river mingles with faint traces of long-forgotten markets, whispers of disputes, and the lives of those who vanished without notice. At twilight, the city shifts. The modern hum fades, leaving only murmurs carried along the Nervión. Some claim to glimpse figures on the bridge, vanishing when approached. Bilbao's charm conceals more than architecture. It guards stories that refuse to sleep, teasing travelers with hints of secrets darker than the next city waiting just beyond the horizon. Burgos, Spain. Echoes beneath the cathedral spires. Beneath the soaring spires of Burgos Cathedral, shadows gather where history refuses to rest. The city's medieval streets twist and narrow, their stones whispering of pilgrims, merchants, and secrets centuries old. Locals speak cautiously of corridors that seem longer at night, of faint footsteps echoing behind wandering visitors, and of flickering lights where no lantern burns. In the quiet plazas, the air carries a weight of vanished voices, prayers, arguments, and laughter swallowed by time. The monastery of Las Huelgas stands silent yet watchful, its ancient walls holding stories the living dare not recount. As darkness spreads over the Arlanzon River, an uneasy stillness blankets the city, hinting at mysteries that linger in alleys and shadowed corners. Burgos may appear serene, but beyond its calm surface, secrets whisper, and the next town promises even stranger echoes waiting to be uncovered. Cáceres, Spain. Secrets behind stone walls. Cáceres rises like a fortress of time, its medieval walls enclosing streets that twist like veins through centuries of history. The old quarter's towers and palaces seem frozen, yet locals whisper of movement in shadows where none should be, of sudden chills that sweep cobblestones untouched by wind. Hidden courtyards echo faint footsteps, and abandoned doorways guard memories of feuds, disappearances, and quiet betrayals. At dusk, the city transforms. Lanterns flicker in empty windows, and the air thickens with the weight of unspoken stories. Even the Grand Plaza Mayor feels watchful, as if the stones themselves remember every passing soul. Step carefully along these winding streets, for Cáceres is a city that never truly sleeps, and beyond its ancient gates, the next town waits with secrets darker and whispers louder than any yet encountered. Cádiz, Spain, whispers along the Atlantic edge. Cádiz stretches along the Atlantic, its golden beaches and sunlit promenades hiding shadows few dare to notice. Behind the cheerful facades, narrow alleys twist between crumbling buildings where the scent of salt mixes with secrets long buried. Locals speak softly of flickering lanterns in empty squares, of windows that shiver as if breathing, and of footsteps echoing through streets devoid of life. The old Tavira Tower watches silently, its vantage revealing movements invisible to the casual eye. By night, the wind carries voices from the past, merchants, sailors, and citizens whose stories never ended. Cádiz gleams in the sunlight, yet beneath its warmth lies a quiet unrest, a mystery that lingers just beneath the surface. And as you turn away from the sea, the next town looms, promising darker corridors and whispers that refuse to die. Calatayud, Spain, shadows along the Ebro. Calatayud rests quietly along the Ebro River, its streets lined with centuries-old stone and brick, yet hiding echoes that linger long after sunset. The old quarter's arches and plazas carry whispers of vanished festivals, forgotten markets, and disputes that time refused to heal. Locals speak of fleeting shadows crossing empty streets, of cold drafts curling through doorways sealed for decades, and of lanterns flickering when no one is near. The Colegiata de Santa Maria stands like a silent sentinel, its walls keeping watch over secrets etched in stone. At dusk, the river seems to murmur stories of travelers who never returned and of moments forever suspended. Calatayud appears tranquil, but step lightly, for its hidden corners hint at mysteries that stretch beyond the town, where the next village awaits, darker and far more restless than it seems. Cuenca, Spain, hanging houses and hidden whispers. Perched dramatically above the Huecar River, Cuenca's hanging houses seem to defy gravity, and perhaps reality itself. By day, tourists admire the dizzying balconies and narrow streets, but when night falls, the city changes. Shadows stretch unnaturally along the cliffside, and the wind through the gorge carries murmurs that seem almost human. Locals speak of flickering lights behind closed windows, of footsteps echoing along the empty Puente de San Pablo, and of sudden chills in streets that should be warm. The old convents and abandoned workshops hide stories of vanished artists, forgotten duels, and secrets kept for generations. Walk carefully among the cobblestones, for Cuenca is alive with memories that refuse to rest. And just beyond the gorge, the next town waits silently, hinting at mysteries darker than any Cuenca has yet dared reveal. Elche, Spain, palms and silent secrets. Elche's famous palm groves stretch endlessly, swaying gently in the breeze by day, but at night, they hide whispers that few dare follow. Among the rows of towering palms, narrow paths wind like veins, carrying shadows that move independently of the moonlight. Locals speak of sudden chills in quiet plazas, of lanterns flickering where no one lingers, and of faint murmurs echoing through deserted courtyards. The Huerto del Cura holds an uneasy stillness after sunset, its statues seeming to watch silently as if guarding memories too heavy to forget. Beneath the city's vibrant festivals and bustling streets, tales of vanished artisans and mysterious figures linger in the air. Step lightly through Elche's green labyrinth, for the palms conceal more than shade, and beyond the groves, the next town awaits, promising secrets that may be far harder to leave behind. Girona, Spain, walls that whisper. Girona's ancient walls rise above the Anyar River, their stones bearing witness to centuries of secrets. The colorful houses along the riverbank conceal narrow alleys where sunlight rarely reaches, and locals speak of shadows that linger long after the streets are empty. Footsteps echo strangely in the Jewish quarter, as though unseen guides are retracing paths long forgotten. Nightfall transforms the city. Bridges creak under invisible weight, and cold drafts slip through arched doorways. Legends tell of hidden tunnels beneath the cathedral, once used to hide refugees, thieves, and whispered plots. Every corner seems to breathe history, and the city's charm masks an undercurrent of unease. Step carefully, for Girona is more than picturesque facades. The next town looms ahead, darker and more mysterious, with stories that refuse to stay buried. Granada, Spain. Secrets beneath the Alhambra. Granada, perched at the foot of the Sierra Nevada, is famed for the Alhambra's intricate palaces and lush gardens, yet its beauty conceals shadows few dare explore. Beyond the tourist paths, winding streets of the Albaycin whisper of centuries-old rivalries, secret meetings, and vanished lives. Locals speak of faint voices echoing in deserted courtyards, of lanterns flickering without wind, and of doorways that seem to lead nowhere. At night, the old hammams and hidden stairways hum with the weight of memories, their stones absorbing stories too heavy to leave behind. Even the river Darro carries murmurs of lovers, exiles, and forgotten crimes. Granada's charm is deceptive. Beneath its sunlit splendor lies a restless history. Step carefully, for beyond its hills, the next town waits with tales darker and more unsettling than any Granada has yet revealed. Huelva, Spain. Shadows along the coast. Huelva, perched where the Tinto and Odiel rivers meet the Atlantic, is known for its marshlands and rich mining history. But beneath the serene beaches and lively ports, whispers of the past linger. Narrow streets of the old quarter hide abandoned warehouses and forgotten alleys where locals claim shadows move on their own. The Rio Tinto, its waters tinged red by centuries of mining, seems to murmur secrets to those who dare linger. Nightfall brings a strange stillness. The wind carries faint cries and footsteps where none should tread. Even the plazas, filled by day with laughter and markets, feel watchful when the sun sets. Step lightly through Huelva's streets, for its calm facade hides stories that refuse to die. And beyond its riverbanks, the next town waits with mysteries darker and more unsettling than any yet encountered. Hondarribia, Spain. Fortress of forgotten echoes. Hondarribia, perched on the Basque coast where the Bidasoa River meets the Bay of Biscay, is famed for its medieval walls and colorful harbor. But beneath its cheerful facades lie stories few dare to recount. The old quarter's cobbled streets twist between half-timbered houses, where shadows linger long after the markets close. Locals speak of sudden chills along the city gates, of flickering lanterns in empty plazas, and of whispers carried by the wind from the fortifications overlooking the water. At dusk, the harbor seems to watch silently, as if remembering every ship that never returned. Hondarribia's beauty masks a restless past, and wandering its alleys feels like trespassing on memories that refuse to fade. Step carefully, for beyond its walls, the next town waits, darker and more mysterious than anything you have yet encountered. Jerez de la Frontera, Spain. Sherry, horses, and hidden shadows. Jerez de la Frontera, famous for its sherry wineries and the Royal Andalusian School of Equestrian Art, seems sunlit and vibrant, but the city harbors corners where history whispers in silence. The narrow streets of the old town hide alleys where shadows linger long after the clatter of hooves and laughter fades. If the secrets of Jerez intrigue you, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the hidden tales waiting in every Spanish town. Locals speak of sudden chills in empty courtyards, of lanterns flickering in the Alcázar when no one is near, and of faint music echoing from abandoned taverns. Behind ornate gates, forgotten gardens conceal secrets of duels, vanished lovers, and whispered plots carried by the wind. Step carefully through Jerez's sun-drenched streets, for beneath the festive surface, memories refuse to rest. And just beyond the horizon, the next town waits, promising mysteries far more restless than anything Jerez has yet revealed. Leon, Spain, echoes beneath the stones. Leon, where the ancient walls cradle narrow streets and sunlit squares, holds more than soaring cathedrals and Roman ruins. Beneath its cobblestones, whispers of medieval secrets and vanished markets seem to linger, as if the city remembers every footstep ever taken. Locals speak of sudden chills near hidden courtyards, doors that groan with unseen weight, and flickering lights that reveal fleeting shapes before vanishing. The old monasteries and cloisters, quiet in the day, carry a restless energy at night, humming faintly with memories of clandestine meetings and unspoken rivalries. Even the Bernesga River seems to murmur warnings to those who wander too far. Leon's charm masks a city that watches, waits, and remembers. Step carefully. Beyond its shadowed alleys, the next town looms with mysteries darker and more unsettling than anything Leon dares to whisper. Lugo, Spain. Secrets behind the Roman walls. Lugo, famous for its perfectly preserved Roman walls that encircle the city, appears serene by day, but those ancient stones have absorbed centuries of whispered stories. Walk along the ramparts and you can almost hear the echo of soldiers' boots, merchants' calls, and vanished festivals. The labyrinthine streets within conceal narrow alleys where shadows gather and lanterns flicker for no reason. Locals warn of sudden chills near old churches, of doors that creak open to emptiness, and of figures vanishing at the edge of vision. Even the placid Minho River seems to carry murmurs of forgotten deals and hidden betrayals. Step cautiously through Lugo's historic heart, for the city remembers what others forget, and just beyond its fortified walls, the next town waits, carrying secrets even older, darker, and far more unsettling than anything seen so far. Malaga, Spain. Sunlit streets with hidden shadows. Along the sparkling Costa del Sol, where palm trees sway and the Mediterranean hums gently, a quieter, unseen world lingers behind the city's vibrant facade. Winding streets of the historic quarter hide corners where shadows seem almost alive, and locals speak of sudden chills that sweep through empty plazas as if carrying messages from the past. The Alcazaba's ancient walls guard not only history but whispers of vanished soldiers and forbidden affairs. Lanterns flicker inexplicably in abandoned courtyards, and the scent of salt and citrus masks secrets buried beneath centuries of stone. Even the harbor, bustling by day, seems to murmur quietly when night falls. Walk carefully here, for every corner may hold a memory unwilling to sleep. And just beyond Malaga's sun-drenched streets, the next town awaits with enigmas darker than any the coast has yet revealed. Mérida, Spain. Ruins that remember. Amid the sweeping plains of Extremadura, ancient amphitheaters and Roman temples rise from the earth, remnants of a city that once thrived with triumphs and betrayals. Mérida's ruins are more than stone. They hum faintly with the echoes of gladiators, senators, and crowds long vanished. Cobblestone streets wind past forgotten arches, where shadows seem to twist and linger as if alive. Locals speak of sudden chills near the Roman bridge, of whispers carried by the Guadiana River, and of fleeting figures glimpsed in courtyards left untouched for centuries. Even sunlight seems hesitant in narrow alleyways, revealing glimpses of history best left undisturbed. Step carefully among Mérida's relics, for the city does not easily forgive the curious. Beyond its ancient walls, another town waits silently, promising mysteries far more restless, darker, and inexplicably alive than anything Mérida has concealed. Murcia, Spain, hidden currents of the city. Beneath the sun-soaked streets of southeastern Spain, the city hums with life, yet secret currents flow quietly through its historic heart. The Cathedral of Murcia dominates the skyline, but tucked behind its grand facades are alleys where shadows stretch unnaturally, and whispered tales cling to old stone walls. Locals speak of sudden chills near forgotten fountains, of flickering lanterns in courtyards long abandoned, and of strange footsteps echoing when no one walks. Even the Segura River seems to murmur in the night, carrying stories of vanished travelers and hidden dealings. Murcian streets, vibrant by day, shift into a realm of quiet unease after dusk. Tread lightly, for the city remembers what others overlook. And just beyond Murcia, the next town waits, darker and stranger, holding secrets that refuse to stay buried. Oviedo, Spain, shadows among the hills. Perched amid Asturias's rolling hills, Oviedo is often celebrated for its charming squares and pre-Romanesque churches, yet beneath its tranquil streets, whispers of the past persist. Narrow alleys hide the faint echoes of monks, merchants, and forgotten festivals, and locals warn of sudden chills near ancient fountains and silent cloisters. Lanterns flicker where no one stands, and shadows seem to stretch along walls as if reaching for wandering feet. The city's cobblestones, polished by centuries of footsteps, guard stories that refuse to fade, murmuring faintly when the wind rustles through leafy plazas. Even the parks, serene in daylight, carry a tension that grows after dusk. Walk cautiously through Oviedo's quiet heart, for the next town looms beyond its hills, promising enigmas older, stranger, and more restless than anything the city has ever dared reveal. Pamplona, Spain, beyond the running streets. Famed for its encircling walls and the adrenaline of the running of the bulls, Pamplona holds corners where time seems reluctant to move. Behind festive plazas and lively cafes, narrow lanes twist unpredictably, shadowed by centuries-old stone buildings. Locals speak of fleeting figures disappearing around corners, of doors that creak open to empty rooms, and of whispers caught in the wind that seem almost deliberate. The ancient citadel and hidden passageways carry echoes of forgotten duels, secret meetings, and tales that the crowds never hear. Even the Arga River, calm by day, reflects strange shapes at night, hinting at stories submerged beneath its surface. Step carefully through Pamplona's streets, for beyond its celebrated spectacles, the next city waits quietly, its mysteries darker, older, and far more restless than any the festival could ever reveal. Ronda, Spain, cliffs that whisper. High above the Tajo Gorge, Ronda perches like a city caught between sky and stone. Bridges span dizzying heights, connecting ancient streets that wind along precarious cliffs. Yet behind its breathtaking views lies a quieter, darker rhythm. Locals speak of sudden chills near crumbling balconies, of shadows darting along narrow alleys, and of whispers that echo from abandoned houses clinging to the cliffside. The bullring, historic and grand, carries stories of triumph and tragedy, its empty stands murmuring secrets of those long gone. Even the rivers that plunge into the gorge seem to carry voices, as if the cliffs themselves remember every footstep. Walk cautiously here, for Ronda's beauty is a fragile veil over secrets that refuse to sleep. And just beyond its jagged edges, the next town awaits, holding enigmas darker than any canyon shadow. Salamanca, Spain, stones that speak. In the heart of Castile and Leon, Salamanca shimmers with golden sandstone buildings and grand plazas, but hidden behind its academic prestige lies a city that whispers of centuries past. University halls echo faintly with the footsteps of students long gone, while alleys between cathedrals hide shadows that seem to move with a mind of their own. Locals warn of sudden chills near the old library, of doors opening into silence, and of lanterns flickering as if guided by invisible hands. The river Tormes, tranquil by day, carries murmurs of forgotten duels and clandestine meetings when night falls. Walk carefully through Salamanca's labyrinth of history, for the city remembers even the smallest acts, and just beyond its ancient squares, the next town waits, bearing enigmas older, darker, and far more restless than anything Salamanca has revealed. San Sebastian, Spain, waves that whisper secrets. Along the glistening shores of the Bay of Biscay, San Sebastian sparkles with beaches and promenades, yet behind the sunlit facades lie streets that hold quieter, unseen stories. Narrow lanes twist between colorful buildings, where shadows gather in corners and the scent of the sea mixes with something older, almost intangible. Locals speak of flickering lights in empty taverns, sudden chills in deserted plazas, and whispers that seem to ride the evening breeze. The old harbor creaks under the tide, carrying faint echoes of sailors long vanished, and the hills above the city hide alleyways where history refuses to rest. Walk carefully here, for San Sebastian is more than coastal beauty. It is a city that watches, remembers, and keeps secrets. And just beyond its waves, the next town waits, holding enigmas you cannot yet imagine. Segovia, Spain, echoes beneath the aqueduct. Beneath the towering arches of Segovia's ancient aqueduct, the city hums with a quiet tension that few notice. Sunlight glints off the massive stones by day, yet shadows stretch unnaturally along narrow streets and hidden courtyards. Locals whisper of fleeting figures slipping past windows, of footsteps echoing where no one walks, and of voices murmuring secrets of a past that refuses to rest. The Alcazar, perched like a fairy tale fortress, seems to watch over the city with a silent, knowing gaze, guarding stories of triumph, betrayal, and forgotten rituals. Even the Oresma River carries a strange resonance, as though the waters themselves remember centuries of lives intersecting in mystery. Step carefully through Segovia's heart, for the next town waits quietly beyond the hills, promising enigmas that will test the bravest traveler's courage. Tarragona, Spain, shadows over the amphitheater. Along the Mediterranean coast, Tarragona dazzles with Roman ruins and sunlit beaches, yet beneath the golden facades, secrets linger in its ancient streets. The amphitheater, grand and silent, seems to hum faintly with echoes of battles and performances long past, while narrow alleys wind into shadows where whispers of history cling stubbornly. Locals speak of sudden chills near crumbling walls, of lights flickering where no one stands, and of soft footsteps that vanish around corners. Even the old harbor carries a sense of unease, as if the tides themselves conceal forgotten stories. Walk carefully through Tarragona's labyrinth of past and present, for the city watches quietly, and just beyond its sunlit streets, the next town waits, holding mysteries older, stranger, and far more restless than anything you have seen so far. If the shadows of Tarragona have stirred your curiosity, subscribe and turn on notifications. There are more hidden towns and untold stories waiting for you to explore. Toledo, Spain, labyrinth of light and shadow. Perched above the Tagus River, Toledo glimmers with centuries of history, where cathedrals rise like sentinels over winding streets. Yet beneath its storied beauty lies a city that seems to breathe secrets. Stone bridges span narrow alleys where shadows linger longer than they should, and locals speak of hidden courtyards where whispers echo of duels, forbidden romances, and vanished travelers. The Alcazar looms with silent authority, guarding tales of conquest and betrayal, while the medieval synagogues and mosques hold memories that refuse to fade. Even the river murmurs at night, carrying faint voices from a past that never truly sleeps. Step cautiously through Toledo's tangled streets, for every corner seems alive with history's gaze. And just beyond its walls, the next town waits quietly, hiding enigmas darker and more restless than anything Toledo has yet revealed. Valencia, Spain, sunlit streets and quiet secrets. Valencia stretches along the Mediterranean with a harmony of modernity and history, where bustling markets meet serene plazas and futuristic architecture stands alongside centuries-old churches. The city pulses with life by day, the scent of orange blossoms drifting through narrow streets, the laughter of cafes spilling into sunlit squares. But beneath its vibrant surface, the past leaves subtle traces. Cobblestones and fountains hold stories of merchants, artists, and wanderers who shaped the city's character. Locals speak quietly of forgotten passages and quiet corners where time seems to slow, inviting reflection rather than fear. Valencia is a place to wander slowly, to notice the small details that speak louder than monuments. Here, the journey of hidden towns comes to a gentle close, leaving you with the quiet wonder of Spain's beauty and its stories patiently waiting to be discovered. As we've wandered through Spain's hidden streets, ancient plazas, and quiet corners, each town has whispered its own story, some of beauty, others of mystery, all unforgettable. From sunlit Valencia to shadowed alleys and forgotten villages, Spain holds secrets that only the curious truly discover. If these hidden gems have sparked your wanderlust, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, so you never miss a journey into the unknown. Share your favorite town in the comments below, and tell us which secret corner of Spain you dream of exploring next. Every alley, plaza, and ancient stone has a story. Are you ready to uncover them all?